From Schumann Field in Hightstown, New Jersey, you're tuned into the Play-by-Play Sports Network's coverage of the Peddie Falcons Maple Football Opener today, taking on the Rams from the Hill School. And a very pleasant good afternoon and welcome into our broadcast today. My name is Joe Vasile here with you. It should be a good matchup today between Peddie and Hill as we get things going this season in the Maple. Peddie comes into the match, or the game I should say, with a 2-win, 2-loss record. They started off with a couple of wins this season, a 42-7 victory over Bishop Sullivan and a 51-7 win over Wyoming Seminary before dropping their last two games. Meanwhile, the Hill School comes in looking for its first win of the season. They are 0-4, including a loss their last time out at Springside Chestnut Hill, a 58-27 loss last Saturday. So both teams, a little bit of a short week as this game was moved up, supposed to be played on Saturday tomorrow. Instead, it'll be played here today, Friday afternoon, and we thank you for joining us here in Hightstown. Hill won the toss. They opt to receive, so they'll get things going on offense first, taking the kickoff. Sending this one deep are the Peddie Falcons. Short kickoff, going to be taken by the up-back, Gernard Finney. Back to the near side. Finney's got some space across the 30, and he's dragged down out of bounds. Tackled by Patrick Smith, a freshman. And so it'll be good field position for Hill to get things going. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. So the Hill Rams set up on offense here first. Their head coach, Jeff Hallway, looking to try and help the team get to its first win. They'll spread it out with 5 wide on the first play of the game. Javon Clements, the quarterback, is a quick screen to the outside. Blocking set up ahead and a first down pickup. And a little bit more for Hill as ducking out of bounds was Maurice Maskua. Gets it up toward midfield, pickup of 16 on the play. And a first down for Hill on its first play of the game. They'll get quickly back up to the line. First down and 10 from right around midfield. Clements out of a shotgun. They run a pitch play. This time it's Maskua again with a burst of speed, and he picks up a first down across the 40-yard line. Down to the 39-yard line, a gain of 11. As Hill picking up wide chunks of yardage on its first two plays. A 16-yard pass play followed up by an 11-yard rush to move the chains twice. This time the Rams spread it out. Clements working out of the shotgun. Peddie teasing blitz. And a look over to the sideline. Peddie backs off, but pressure, fire to the outside. Pass is complete. Pickup of about 4 yards. Goes to, looks like Sear Gruber. Ball set up at the 34-yard line as Clements now 2 for 2 passing on this drive. They'll spread it around again. Gruber moves slot to the left where they got 3 receivers. Maskua takes the handoff and maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. Third down and about 5 coming up. Hill's starting to stall a little bit just inside their own, or they're inside the Peddie 35-yard line. 10:48 left to go in the first quarter, no score. First drive of the game for Hill. A full house backfield. Give it to Maskua, trying to get around the edge, but not able to. Bottled up by Jack Barnes, a sophomore. Defensive end and linebacker for the Peddie Falcons, wearing number 54 today, making the tackle. Loss of 1 on the play. That'll bring up 4th down and 6 from the 35-yard line. Clements running the play back into the huddle here. 4-down territory for Hill on its first drive of the game. Not quite 2 minutes gone in the contest. 2 in the backfield along with Clements out of the shotgun. Keep it on the ground. This time it goes for Finney. Picked up maybe a yard on the play. up to the 34, and it'll be a turnover on downs. So Peddie will start their first drive with 9:59 remaining. From their own 34-yard line is, again, after Hill picked up a 16-yard pass play and then an 11-yard rush on its first two plays from scrimmage. Drive just kind of stalled out from inside the 40-yard line. So the Peddie Falcons will go to work offensively for the first time today. Starting quarterback for Peddie is going to be Vas Dennis, filling in for Maurice Balan, who's not going to be able to play today. With him and Corey Smith. A couple of captains not in action as they have a quick pass to John Mechie. It's around one tackler in the backfield before he's forced out of bounds by Josh Flowers. No gain on the play. It'll be second down and 10. From about the 34-yard line. Peddie will spread it out. They like to pass the ball quite a bit. Three wide receivers to the left, including Marlon Johnson. Split wide left. They keep it on the ground on the play to Khalil Majid. Fumbles forward for 9 yards. Pardon me, that was Patrick Smith. I'll say it's good enough for a first down to the 44. 9:40 left to go here in the first quarter. No score between Peddie and Hill. Peddie on their first drive, picking up a first down on the ground. Patrick Smith moves Smith in motion. They fake it to him, and keeping it's going to be Vas Dennis. Dennis, first down and more. Cutting back to the middle of the field and taken down inside the 25-yard line. A big pickup of 20 yards on the ground for Vas Dennis and a first down for the Peddie Falcons. On the option play, Dennis pulled it out of Smith's midsection and took off running. And a first down for Peddie from right around the 25-yard line. Pistol formation, Smith behind Dennis. This time, keeps it again. Pass to the outside, caught by Mechie. He slips a tackle at the line of scrimmage, and he's down inside the 10-yard line. John Mechie with the elusive running. Forced out of bounds inside the 10. They'll mark him down right around the 7-yard line. Pickup of 18. Peddie threatening with first and goal from just outside the 6. Vas Dennis once again. Out of a shotgun, he's got Patrick Smith in the backfield, lined up sidecar right. It's a high snap, but Dennis grabs it down. Flushed out of the pocket as protection breaks down around him. Looking to make something happen with his legs. Gets around one plan. And then he runs out of bounds for a loss of, well, about 5.5 yards on the play. It'll go down as a sack officially, as it'll back him out to around the 11-yard line. And it'll be second down and goal for the Peddie Falcons. Take a look at Vas Dennis. And the play, head coach Chris Maleo. Still very early on in this contest. 8:44 left to go in the first. No score between Peddie and Hill. First offensive drive of the day for the Falcons. Second down and goal from just outside the 11. Marlon Johnson split wide out to the left, giving him a little bit of a cushion off the option. Dennis keeps it. Nearly had the ball jarred free as he gets to the 10, and the pile pushing forward all the way down to the 7-yard line. Give the tackle to half of the Hill defense. It'll be third down and goal from about the 7-yard line. So Hill goes backwards. Rather forces Peddie backwards, should say, and then gives up some of the yardage back. It'll be third down and goal here for the Falcons. Try to put up points and take an early lead here in the first quarter. Boss Dennis. He's out of the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers lined up to the right. Johnson, the lone target on the left side. Early snap. It's dropped by Dennis. He was caught completely off guard, and then he's swallowed up and spit down at the 10-yard line, and a late flag flies in. We'll see what the penalty is, but depending on what the violation, this would be 4th down and goal. They'll wave off the flag, and so it'll be 4th down and goal from the 10-yard line. Just like the Hill drive stalled out, so does the Peddie drive.
One more time, Hill, let's go, one more time.
It's Peddie really, without much of a kicking game, will keep the offense on the field. As they say, Dennis was able to get down to around the 9-yard line. So 4th and goal from the 9 coming up for the Falcons. And an opportunity for the Hill Rams, if they can hold here, to keep Peddie off the scoreboard after it looked like an eventuality earlier on this drive. Dennis, keep it on the ground with Patrick Smith. Slips off one tackle inside the 5 toward the goal line. Touchdown, Falcons. Patrick Smith on 4th down and goal from the 9. A touchdown for the Peddie Falcons, and they lead it 6-0. 7:01 left to go in the first. This will be Smith on to attempt the extra point. Holding for Peddie. Backup quarterback kick is up off the side of the goalpost and in. So 7-0 the score. The Peddie Falcons lead it with 7:01 left to go in the first. Here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. So now it's time for the Hill Rams to try and draw something up and get their first points up on the board today. As again, Peddie coming in, having lost their last 2 games, including a gut-wrenching loss last weekend to Malvern Prep, looking to get themselves back in the winning column as league play starts here this weekend. They welcome in a Hill squad that's hungry for its first win of the year. And so far, it's the Falcons on their home turf with the upper hand here in this first quarter. Through the first 5 minutes, able to come up with his stop defensively and now drive down and convert on a big 4th down and goal from the 9-yard line for a touchdown. Hill's all ready to go. Peddie now just breaking their huddle. Deep to return for Hill are Josh Flowers and Maurice Mazcuza. Mazcuza in number 5, Flowers wearing number 2. The opening kick was taken by one of the upbacks, Gerard Finney. Not a very deep kickoff from Patrick Smith, who scored the touchdown, kicked the extra point, now getting set to kick it deep for Peddie. The kicking duties for the Falcons today. Takes a run up, swings the right foot through the ball. It's another short kickoff fielded at the 21-yard line. This is Justin Adenchewo. Crossed to the 30 before he spilled just a bit shy of air. So Hill will start ball on their own 30-yard line with 6:53 left to go here in the opening quarter. Drive number 2 for the Rams. Turned it over on downs on their first drive today.
Go 64!
Out of a shotgun, the quarterback, Javon Clements. Post-grad captain, listed at 6'1", 185 pounds. Takes the snap, looks to pass to the right, staring down its receiver, and it's complete to Josh Flowers. Makes a move back to the middle of the field before he's spilled out across the 35-yard line at the 36. Clements has been good through the air today. Picks up 6 yards. That'll bring up a second down and a healthy, generous spot. We'll call it 3.5. 6:24 left to go in the first. It's Peddie 7, Hill nothing. Hill spreads it out again. Clements grabs the snap up at his eyes. He's under pressure by C.J. Presley, and he throws incomplete. Pass intended for Maurice Mazkua. So third down and about 3.5 or 4. Coming up for the Rams. It's Peddie trying to come up with a big defensive stop. Talk a lot about baseball, about how after your team scores, you want your pitcher to have a shutdown inning. Here the Falcons want their defense to have a shutdown drive. Clements rolls to the right on a design, fires it down the field, and it's complete. A flag flies in late away from the play, but down across midfield, Maurice Mazkua, and a big first down pickup for the time being for the Hill Rams. Mazkua a little bit slow to get up, took a hard shot down at the end, and there is a flag about a yard or two field, and penalty going to be an ineligible receiver downfield on Hill, so that'll push things back a couple of yards. So it'll be now, instead of 3rd and 4, it'll be about 3rd and 9 from the 31-yard line. This nifty little play from the Rams, designed rollout, bit of a delay, and found Mazkua, who's had a couple of catches already early for Hill, including a big 16-yarder on the opening play of the game. Clements gets the play in on 3rd and long, and Hill is going to take a timeout with 5:34 remaining in the first. We'll take a timeout as well here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. It's Peddie 7 and Hill nothing. Out of the timeout, it'll be 3rd down and long here for Hill with 5:30 left to go in the first. They keep it on the ground, and the play blown up in the backfield for a loss as Justin Adenchewo was looking for the edge on the jet sweep and couldn't find it. A loss of a couple of yards that'll bring up 4th down and long from the 28-yard line as Hill was facing a 3rd down and 4, committed a 5-yard penalty for an ineligible man downfield, loses a couple of yards on a 3rd and long run play, and now will look to punt on 4th and 12. Josh Flowers will do the punting for the Rams. Low punt, nearly blocked. Will take a nice Ram roll before it's picked up at midfield by Khalil Majid. Takes it out near the 40-yard line and spilled just shy of that mark. So punt on the second drive for Hill after a turnover on downs their first time, and prime field position for Peddie with 4:39 remaining here in the opening quarter. We'll start the drive at their own 41-yard line inside Hill territory. So Peddie with a chance to go up 2 scores here on just their second drive of the game. These are some of the results of their first 4 games of the season. We told you the wins over Bishop Sullivan and Wyoming Seminary to get things going, where the defense was strong and faltered a little bit against Gonzaga from Washington, D.C. and Malvern Prep last weekend to get to 2-2. Defense looks good here so far. Voss Dennis with the pocket breaking down, looking to make something happen with his lugs, gets around a man, and he picks up a couple of yards and across a first down inside the 30-yard line. Voss Dennis was nearly bottled up in the backfield for a loss and turns it into a first down. Heck of a scramble for Voss Dennis, getting things all the way down to the 27-yard line, a pickup of 14 on a play that it looked like he was going to go down for a couple of yard loss. Peddie continuing to move the football. It's an 8-play drive. Covered 66 yards their first time on a Patrick Smith touchdown on the ground. Smith sidecar right. He'll take the swing pass in the flat, but blocking ahead of him. He's got a first down inside the 15 and taken down near the 10-yard line. Patrick Smith on the swing pass gets it down inside the 9-yard line for the Falcons. That's a pickup of 18 yards through the air from Smith. It'll be first down and goal for the Falcons with 3:52 left to go in the first. It's Peddie 7 and Hill nothing. Falcons looking to go up by a couple of scores here before the end of this first quarter. Not only that, but just had a 3-and-out that they forced on defense. Really, things go the way of Peddie here early in the Maple opener. Voss Dennis with a man in motion. This time they'll keep it on the ground for John Mechie. Blocking to the outside, a flag flies in. This in the vicinity of a hold as Mechie picks up about 4 yards, but it'll come back, a holding penalty against Peddie. So that'll back him up. Give him first down and goal from about the 19-yard line by the time things are marked off in terms of penalty yardage, with 3:17 left to go in the first. And remember, Peddie not really with a big field goal kicking unit. They're not going to really attempt a field goal in this game. It would be a huge surprise if they did. So an opportunity here for Hill to try and clamp down defensively and try and take advantage of that penalty and give the Rams a little bit of momentum. Shotgun for Voss Dennis. They keep it to Patrick Smith. He's bottled up quickly, couldn't get to the edge. Couple of tacklers in on the stop for Hill, but Logan Punzone got there first. A loss of 1 on the play, and it'll be second down and 20. Punzone of 5th form, that's about the equivalent of junior year at the Hill School. They use the form system. Second and goal from the 20. 2:42 left to go in the first. And a 7-0 penalty, Peddie lead, I should say, backed up because of a penalty. Voss Dennis looks to pass down the field, over the middle, pass complete for a touchdown. It's Khalil Majid, a 20-yard touchdown strike. And Majid into the end zone, and Peddie goes up 13-0 with 2:26 left to go in the first. First of the day through the air for Voss Dennis. Second and goal from the 20. On to attempt the extra point is Patrick Smith. Smith 1 for 1 in terms of the extra points. He hit it off the left upright his last time up, and it went in. High snap, and it's a busted play. Hill's just going to go ahead and make the tackle on the holder. Aiden McHugh Wood. Kind of a smart play there for the Falcons to not try to kick that one, as it was going to be blocked, and then you give little potential for a little more momentum, so you just kind of cover it up and go down. And you take your 13-0 lead with 2:26 left to go in the first. The touchdown drive for the Peddie Falcons covers 41 yards in a matter of 2 minutes and, I'm horrible at math, but 13 seconds. It started at 4:39 on the Hill 41-yard line. So off the short punt and the good return for the Falcons, another touchdown, as their offense hasn't been stopped yet today by the Hill defense. And meanwhile, the Peddie defense has done some good work against the Hill School offense. We'll had a couple of first downs on the first 2 plays that Hill ran offensively. 16-yard pass and an 11-yard rush, and since then Hill has gone, well, they've gone backwards between a couple of plays that didn't necessarily get them forward and then some penalty yardage backing them up. It's a net of 0 yards for Hill since those first 2 plays. The freshman Patrick Smith to kick this one away for Peddie with 2:26 left to go in the first and a 13-0 Falcons advantage. Kickoff is deep, taken by Josh Flowers at the 11. Makes a cut back in the middle of the field. Tries to get some space by going backwards and does across the 30-yard line. Good return by Josh Flowers. Post-grad taking it out across the 30-yard line, eventually forced out of bounds at the 31. So 2:16 left to go in the first quarter. Hill takes over on their own 31-yard line. They've had decent field position to start their drives so far today. Now an opportunity with 2:16 left to go in the first quarter to try and put some momentum together before the end of this first quarter and just kind of at least slow the Falcons' attack down some. Quarterback Javon Clements works out of the shotgun for the Rams. They pitch it to the right. It's Finney. And Jernard Finney is nowhere. In fact, they'll say that he lost a yard. 2 yards. How about that for just back across the 30-yard line? 2nd and 12 from the 29. 13-0 Peddie with 2:09 left to go in the first. Stop clock as Jernard Finney went out of bounds. Clements rolls out under pressure. Hit as he throws down the middle of the field, and it's caught by Flowers. There goes Josh Flowers for a touchdown. 71 yards from Clements to Flowers for a touchdown.
For a 71-yard touchdown, and that makes the score 13-6 with the Hill Rams getting on the scoreboard for the first time.
So they hit the home run pass on the second play of the drive. Do the Rams that very little rollout right at the beginning, giving just enough room. Hill will shift everyone around as they get set up. This will be Tim Yount on for the extra point. Yount with the run up at it. It is up and good. That was a good-looking kick from Tim Yount. Now a 13-7 lead for the Peddie Falcons with 1:58 left to go in the first. As Hill comes up with its first score of the game on a 71-yard touchdown pass. The scoring drive took a whopping 18 seconds for Hill to get into the end zone. So now we'll see what the Rams are able to do on the defensive side as they've started to get a little bit of momentum going in their favor offensively with that quick score after they had punted and turned it over on downs on their last 2 drives in the game today. Jeff Holloway over on the far sideline for Hill, feeling at least a little bit better at this point about where the team stands, so they'll Again, wanting to see how you react defensively. With Peddie having gotten into the end zone on its first 2 drives so far today, although in theory, you've got an opportunity. You've had a couple of short fields for Peddie on their first 2 drives. They've started at the 34-yard line on their own side, and then they started their last drive from the Hill 41. So an opportunity at least to back Peddie up some. There's Josh Flowers right in front of the huddle. Hill fakes the onside kick, and now will line up for a more conventional kick. Flowers will send this one deep, and this is a good kick that's going to go all the way back into the end zone for a touchback. I tell you, between Josh Flowers on that kickoff and the extra point that was sent up by Tim Yount, a couple of good-looking kicks here for the Hill Rams. Peddie Falcons will take over 1st and 10 with minute 58 left to go in the opening quarter and a 13-7 lead. So an opportunity for Peddie to just kind of methodically try to drive their way down the field. But again, a big opportunity for Hill to try and get this stop. Have it 1st and 10 from the 20 after the touchback on the kickoff. Shotgun for Voss Dennis. He fakes, keeps it himself. Gets crunched up after a gain of 5. 25-yard line in on the stop for Hill. Sear Gruber. Second and 5 from the 25 coming up for the Falcons as the clock runs down. Now inside 90 seconds remaining here in the opening quarter. 13-7 Peddie lead. They've scored touchdowns on their first 2 drives. But Hill striking back a 71-yard touchdown their last time out. Shotgun for Voss Dennis. Keep it on the ground for John Mechie. Mechie, all kinds of room down the sideline. He is gone. John Mechie, 75 yards. Touchdown, Peddie. And it's a 19-7 lead for the Falcons, as both teams hitting home runs on their last 2 drives. A 71-yard touchdown from Hill, and then right back the other way for Peddie. A 75-yard rushing touchdown for John Mechie. Patrick Smith on for the extra points. He's 1 for 1. There was a bad snap on the other. Didn't get a kickoff. This one, the snap better, hold down, a high kick, well wide left. And so it's a 19-7 lead for the Peddie Falcons with 1 minute left to go in an eventful first quarter. Thank you for joining us here today on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Joe Vasile here with you from Schumann Field in Hightstown, New Jersey. The Peddie Falcons on a 2-game losing streak, looking to turn that around. And they're off to a good start with this 19-7 lead with 1 minute remaining in the first quarter. The Hill Rams looking for their first win of the season. They've shown some flashes today, but giving up a 75-yard touchdown run on the ground from John Mechie. Touchdowns on every offensive possession for the Falcons, as this one starting to take on the look of a little bit of a shootout between these 2 teams. We'll see if Hill's able to come back and score quickly. Touchdown drive for Peddie, 2 plays. It went 80 yards and took 58 seconds off the clock. This will be Patrick Smith, the freshman, kicking off for the Peddie Falcons. Low kick, This is taken by Gernard Finney. Finney across the 30. Bottled up there and dragged down by a couple of Peddie defenders. Looked like the first one in on the stop for the Falcons was David Egby, a freshman, playing on special teams. So Hill takes over, first down and 10 from the 30-yard line. 50 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. Shotgun for Javon Clements. Three receivers lined up to the left as Clements looks to pass. Under some pressure, fires deep and into the sideline, incomplete. Clock stopped with 44 seconds left to go. It's Peddie 19, Hill 7 here in the opening quarter. Peddie hasn't been able to cash in on a couple of extra points. Another shotgun run here for the Rams. Two in the backfield with him. Clements under pressure. They set up a screen. Pass is complete, but maybe back to the line of scrimmage. That time was Gernard Finney. 25 seconds left to go in the opening quarter. Clock is running. Third down and about 10. Just across the 30-yard line. They need to get to the 40. We have a timeout taken with 14 seconds left to go in the opening quarter. It's Peddie 19, Hill 7. We'll take a timeout with him here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. We welcome you back to Schumann Field in Hightstown, New Jersey. Joe Vasile with you on the Play-by-Play Sports Network today. It's a 19-7 Peddie lead over the Hills School with 12 minutes left to go in quarter number 2. We're getting things started. The teams have switched sides. Hill third down and 10 from across the 30. Clements under pressure, and he goes down. A sack by C.J. Presley. A 6'5 senior. Making the tackle for a loss of 4. And it'll be fourth down and 14 for the Hill Rams from their own 26, and they'll have to punt for the second time today. So they go 3 and outs.
Tom Schumann, son of Gordy Schumann, for whom this field is named, is in the stands with us today. Welcome to Tom.
Josh Flowers punt this one away. This one, another low line drive punt that hits down just across midfield and takes a hill roll across the 40 and comes to a stop at the 39-yard line where it gets touched up by Nolan Smith. So first drive of the second quarter for the Peddie Falcons. We'll start with 11:07 left to go in the quarter from their own 39-yard line. Peddie has scored touchdowns on its first 3 drives today. Patrick Smith a 9-yard rushing touchdown in the opening drive,
Get a turnover here.
and a
Go, Hill. Get a turnover.
29-yard touchdown from, or rather, pardon me, just a 20-yard touchdown from Voss Dennis to Khalil Majid. John Mechie, 75-yard home run. Now a deep ball over the middle, and it is dropped by John Mechie. Voss Dennis and Mechie in behind the defense. If he makes the catch, he's gone for a touchdown. But it hit off his fingertips and falls incomplete. Good deep ball thrown by Voss Dennis. Just out of the reach of the senior captain Mechie. He's already got one touchdown today and nearly had a second. He was able to make that grab at around the 20-yard line.
Get some pressure, Hill. Let's go.
Dennis working out of a pistol. Fake the handoff to Smith. Dennis under pressure, and he's dragged down. Sacked by Amir Lyles. They lose a couple. Back to the 38-yard line. Third down at 11. Being faced by Peddie. 10:35 left to go in the second quarter. It's a 19-7 lead for the Falcons. Scored a touchdown on each of their first drives today. But now the Hill Rams trying to come up with what would be their first stop. Voss Dennis works out of a shotgun. In the backfield with him, it's John Mechie. Man in motion, Patrick Smith. Take the pass. They fake the handoff on the jet sweep. They go down the sideline. It's Mechie again. First down and more. He makes a move back to the outside. Stays in bounds and then is forced out by Timothy Wamakima, but not before a huge pickup and a first down for the Peddie Falcons. That's a pickup of 36 yards. With 10 minutes left to go in the second quarter, it's Peddie 19 and threatening to add, and Hill 7. 4 wide receivers for the Falcons. Voss Dennis with Smith behind him in the pistol. They pay handoff, and the pass goes to the left and caught by Marlon Johnson. First time we've seen Johnson today. One of the officials takes his spill. Marlon Johnson, a player to watch today. See a commit to Rutgers. You take a look at that size. 6'4", 194 pounds. Just an outstanding player. First time we've said his name coming here in the second quarter. Kind of lets you know just how much Hill has done a good job of at least limiting him so far within this Peddie offense. But pass was complete enough for a first down. 10 yards. It'll be first down and 10 from the 22 for Peddie. Johnson all alone to the bottom of your screen. Smith motions out of the backfield. Dennis under pressure, steps up, looks for Johnson in the end zone. Touchdown! '22-yard touchdown strike from Voss Dennis to Marlon Johnson. Second passing touchdown of the day for Dennis. And Peddie expands the lead to 25-7. Five-play drive, 61 yards. 2 minutes and 8 seconds as Patrick Smith on for the extra points. Hold down, kick from Smith is low. It hits the upright, and this time skips out. Voss Dennis goes to Marlon Johnson. Second touchdown of the day for Dennis, first for Johnson, and the score, Peddie 25 and Hill 7 with 8:59 left to go in the second quarter. And the Rams still have yet to come up with a stop on the defensive side. They've started to get a little something going, it looked like, for a minute on offense, when they hit a 71-yard touchdown pass from Javon Clements to Josh Flowers. Unfortunately for the Rams, they went backwards on their next drive, had to punt away, and then the Peddie touchdown, expanding this lead to 25-7. This will be a nice long huddle before this next possession for the Hill Rams. Officials kind of urging the teams to get things going with 8:59 left to go in the second. Deep to return for Hill, Josh Flowers, and Maurice Mazkua. Good to see Mazkua out there. He had caught a pass earlier in the game on a play that ended up getting negated because of an ineligible receiver downfield penalty, but he was shaken up a little bit after the play, and we haven't seen him out in the last couple series for Hill, but good to see him back out there here. He was very active early on in the passing game and also in carrying the ball on the ground. This will be Patrick Smith to kick things off. Squib kick up the middle. This is going to be fielded on a nice hop by Mazkua. The 15, Mazkua up the middle, makes a move. A man just went diving in the wrong direction as Mazkua eventually tripped up at around the 34-yard line by the kicker, Patrick Smith. 8:51 left to go here in the second quarter. Rams will take it first down and 10 for their own 34-yard line, trailing 25-7. Clements back to work at quarterback for the Rams. Keep it on the ground. This is Finney trying to cut to the outside. Finney ends up getting knocked out of bounds after a loss of about 3. Keyshawn Johnson in on the stop for the Falcons. Finney at that time just kept getting forced to go east and west and eventually ran out of room to try and turn it up the field to lose 4 on the play. And it'll be second down and 14 from the Hill 30-yard line. Move a man in motion and keep it on the ground. This is Mazkua across the original line of scrimmage and gets forced out of bounds after colliding with Aiden Nash. Pickup of about 6 on the play. Bring up third down and 8. Need to get to the 44-yard line. The ball spotted just in between the 36 and the 37-yard lines. A little bit closer to the 36, so we'll call it there. 8:33 left to go. Stopped clock, second quarter. 25-7. Peddie on top of Hill. He spread it out. One in the backfield. Clements takes the snap. They keep it on the ground to Mazkua. Makes a man miss in the backfield across the 40. He's wrapped up and taken down by Peddie defender Jack Barnes. Seen Barnes active quite a bit today. His tackle made down at the 42-yard line to gain the 44. Looks like Hill will keep the offense on the field. Ready to go for it. Fourth down and 2. Ball on their own 42-yard line, trailing 25-7 with 8 minutes left to go in the second quarter. We've seen Hill hit the big play once today. See if they can connect on something that'll pick them up a first down and keep the drive going. Clements bottled up for a loss, sacked. They brought the blitz, and Davis Sherwood got there first. Sophomore linebacker coming on the rush from right up the middle. It's a turnover on downs. And Peddie will take things over, first down and 10. 7:43 remaining in the second quarter from the Hill 38-yard line. Peddie back up to the line of scrimmage with a chance to really break this one open further than they have. They lead it 25-7. They've missed 3 extra points today. Voss Dennis over the middle and overthrows his man Khalil Majid. Majid listed at just 5'11", 195 pounds. Probably would have needed to be 6'11" to be able to catch that one. It was running high over his head. Not a bad throw from Voss Dennis. Kind of put it in a spot where, well, look, if his guy's not going to get it, he's not going to underthrow it and have it get picked off. You'd rather be long on those big passes down the field than underthrowing them. Dennis, 2 backs in the shotgun. Now he motions John Mechie out of the backfield. Keep it on the ground. It's Patrick Smith on the option run. Smith picks up a first down.
Patrick Smith gets the handoff and takes it up the middle for a gain of about 16, 17 yards down to the Hill 22-yard line, where it'll be first and 10 for the Falcons. From the Hill 22.
Pickup of 16 yards by Patrick Smith, who's been a strong rushing option for the Falcons today. Between Smith and John Mechie, we've seen the 2 of them with a majority of the yards on the ground. Peddie spreads it out. 3 receivers to the top of your screen. Marlon Johnson alone on the bottom. Smith cycles out of the backfield. They look for Johnson. Pass is caught around the knees, across the 20-yard line, and eventually tackled down at the 27 is Marlon Johnson. Cleaning him up was Timothy Wamakima. First hit made by Logan Punzone. Pickup of 5 on the pass. Brings up second down and 5. 6:40 left to go in the second. 25-7, Peddie on top. Hill trying to come up with a stop. If they can, it would be their first of the game. Peddie has scored every time they've had the ball. This is now their 5th drive. They started at the Hill 38 in good field position. Voss Dennis out of a pistol with Patrick Smith. They'll blow the play dead, a delay of game against Peddie. Just wasted a little bit too much time in getting that play off. That'll cost him 5 yards. Bring him back to the 22-yard line. Bring up second down and 10. Erasing the 5-yard gain on the first down play. 6:09 left to go in the second. It's Peddie 25 and Hill 7. Two receivers to either side. Dennis to pass over the middle. Pass complete and a touchdown. John Mechie has one on the ground and now one through the air. And Peddie goes up 31-7 with 6:02 left to go in the second. Voss Dennis, 3rd touchdown pass of the day to 3 different receivers. Mechie, after the 75-yard rushing touchdown earlier, his first receiving touchdown of the game. And now a different kicker in for Peddie. They had been using Patrick Smith. And this one is not going to be good as the extra point attempt falls short. That was a number 35 kicking. Peddie does not have a number 35 on its roster. So, honestly, I don't know who that was kicking for the Falcons. But either way, the extra point was no good, and the score 31-7 with 6:02 left to go in the second quarter. Hopefully we'll be able to get you an update on who that is now doing the kicking for Peddie, as they do have a couple of players on their roster who are listed there, but they don't have a number. Could be Jarrett Hillman, but I'm not sure. And again, we'll work to confirm on who is now doing the kicking for the Falcons. But either way, the kicking has not been great, but it hasn't really hurt them at all. They're up 31-7, touchdowns on every drive that they've had so far. And if not for a 71-yard touchdown pass to Josh Flowers from Javon Clements, the defense has been strong as well, except for that one busted play. So Patrick Smith will do the kickoff here for Peddie. And 6:02 left to go in quarter number 2. A Maple opener for both teams. Hill coming in at 0-4 on the year, looking for its first win. Needing to try and reverse the course of the momentum in this game, and soon here before halftime if they want to give themselves a shot. As we feel by the up back, Jernard Finney. After he juggled it, he gets bottled up at the 23-yard line and pushed down out of bounds right there. So the worst field position to start a drive today for Hill. They'll have it from their own 23-yard line with 5:55 remaining here in the second quarter. It was Jack Barnes who was then on the stop for the Peddie Falcons. We've said Barnes' name quite a bit today. He's been active on the defensive side. Big number 54, an outside linebacker. Clements out of the shotgun. He's got twins receivers to either side. No drop, fires quickly to the left. And that's Sear Gruber, a backup quarterback, and has been playing a lot of receiver today. Not able to make the catch. Coming up 2nd down and 10 for the Rams as Clements heads over to the sideline to get the play and run it in to the huddle. As and remember, the first 2 plays from scrimmage in this game for Hill went for 16 yards, pass through the air, and then kept it on the ground for an 11-yard rush for Maurice Mazkua. But since then, hasn't been a whole lot offensively except for the long touchdown pass as Clements keeps it on the ground himself, picks up a couple of yards up to the 25. It'll be 3rd down and 8 coming up for Hill. 5.5 left to go in quarter number 2. Clements quickly gets a play after that QB keeper. Saw Hill go for it on 4th down from the 38-yard line their last drive.
Come on, Hill, let's go. Come on.
Face a 3rd down and 8. Spread it out with 4 receivers. Clements. Protection breaks down. Flush from the pocket. Takes off running. Picks up a couple before he's taken down about a yard past the line of scrimmage by Michael Tile. Helped out by the defensive back, Lennox Lamar. Pickup of about a yard out to the 26-yard line. That'll
from their own 20, just outside their own 26-yard line.
Clements is staying on the field. We're going to send Josh Flowers. Have him go all the way back as if he's going to punt. See if there's any trickery here. Nope. Just a punt that got tipped up in the air, gets across the line of scrimmage. And eventually down by Hill right around midfield. Again, Nolan Smith there to stop the rolling ball with 4:07. Replays and outs for the Hill Rams on offense, and Peddie will take it back over with 4:07 left to go in the second quarter. It's Peddie 31, Hill 7. Peddie will take things over from the Hill 49-yard line. And the Falcons really looking good on offense. Again, a touchdown every drive they've had so far today. 3 passing touchdowns for Voss Dennis, 1 to John Mechie, 1 to Khalil Machid, another to Marlon Johnson. couple of rushing touchdowns, one for Patrick Smith and one for John Mechie. Dennis rolls to the right. He's looking to throw down the field. Overthrows his man, incomplete, intended for Mason Ship. Sophomore, first time we've said Ship's name today. Some of the home fans looking for an interference call, but a good no call from the officials. Because there really wasn't much. It's just home fans being home fans. With 3:59 left to go in the second. Clock stopped and a second down and 10. Brought up by the incomplete pass. So again, Vaz Dennis. 4 receivers in the set. Takes the snap. Keep it on the ground. This time it's Smith. Some room to run up the middle. Picks up a first down. Cuts it to the outside. There goes Smith. Down the sideline. Across the 25 and forced out at the 20. A pickup of 29 yards for Patrick Smith after the cutback. What vision in the middle of the field to find the near sideline, slip a couple of tackles, and pick up 29 on the ground. First down and 10 with 3:46 left to go in the second. Peddie with a 31-7 lead, and again, knocking at the doorstep of the Rams, trying to get in and expand that lead some here before halftime. Peddie breaks the huddle. They come out 5 wide receivers. Stacked to the left is Khalil Majid with Patrick Smith behind him. Smith moves in motion. Blow the play dead. And it's another delay of game penalty against the Peddie Falcons. So that'll push him back 5 yards on the penalty. Second time they've been penalized for a delay of game today. I'll bring up first down and 15 from the 25-yard line. .345 left to go in the second. Clock not running. It's Peddie 31, Hill 7. Here from Maurice Schumann Field in Hightstown. Dennis, pump fakes. Fires down the field, pass completes. That's Mason Ship down inside the 10. So Hill fans, as you might be able to hear, calling for a hold on that one. Looked like might have had a case for it, but pick up down to the 9-yard line. On the pass to Ship, picking up 16 yards. 3:25 left to go in the second. First and goal from the 9. Peddie has been unstoppable offensively today. Lead at 31-7, second quarter waning minutes. Vaz Dennis. Keep to Smith up the middle. Patrick Smith is in for a touchdown. Second of the day for Patrick Smith. Another 9-yard touchdown rush. And Peddie takes the 37-7 lead. Five-play drive. Spanned 49 yards in a minute and 8 seconds. Patrick Smith back in to attempt this point after. Hold down, kick up, that's a good one. And it's right down the middle of the uprights and good. It's been an adventure on the extra points for the Peddie Falcons today, but that one good from Patrick Smith. I'm noticing a trend. Patrick Smith has kicked the extra points both times successfully after he's rushed into the end zone for a touchdown. Every other touchdown he's missed. So, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and say that's just unintentional, but it's kind of an interesting sidebar as it's now 38-7. Peddie on top with 2:59 left to go in quarter number 2. We'll take a step aside and come back with kickoff right after this on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Back here at Maurice Schumann Fields at the Peddie School in Hightstown, New Jersey, the score, Peddie 38, Hill 7 with 2:59 left to go in quarter number 2. 2 rushing touchdowns for Patrick Smith, 3 passing touchdowns for Voss Dennis. And it's been all Falcons the entire way here today. The one score for Hill. Coming back in the first quarter, a 71-yard touchdown strike from Javon Clements to Josh Flowers. This will be Flowers faking the pitch as he picks up the skipping ball, and then he's horse collar tackled down at the 35-yard line. No flag came out on the play, but that was a violent tackle. Hill will take over. First down and 10 with 2:50 left to go in the seconds. All on the 35-yard line. They'll actually give him the spot up to the 36. So see what Hill's able to do, kind of go into almost a 3-minute offense mode. If there is such a thing. I think I just made that term up. 38-7, Peddie on top. 2:50 left to go in the second. Javon Clements will work out of the shotgun as he has all day long. 2 receivers to either side of the set here for the Rams. Keep it on the ground and the play blown up in the backfield. Knocking down Maz Kua for a loss of a couple. Michael Tile. It'll be second down coming up for Hill from their own 27-yard line. Well, no, that's not true at all. It's their own 32. So that's how math works. Second down, and we'll call it 13. Clements flushed out of the pocket. He fires deep down the sideline, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Josh Flowers, and a flag flies in. All underthrown a bit. Looks like, let's see, the interference all coming here against the Falcons. That is, in fact, the call. It'll be an automatic first down. Set it up to the 48-yard line. Up to the 15-yard penalty. Clemens. Man in motion. Keep it on the ground. Nowhere to go. That was Voss Dennis in on the tackle for the Peddie Falcons. Getting it done on the offensive side and coming up with the tackle for loss on the other side of the ball. Loss of a couple on the play back to the 46-yard line. Second down and 12. Faced here by the Hill Rams. Peddie defensively this year has been good against the run, allowing opponents fewer than 35 yards per game. The handoff here goes nowhere. He's kind of seeing why as Maurice Mazkua gains maybe a yard on the play to bring up third down and 11. From the 47-yard line. Line to gain. It's the Peddie 42. Hill has only run 5 plays in this game from Peddie territory. Give to Mazkua. He's bottled up on the screen pass. They'll lose about 2 yards on the play back to the 45-yard line. 33 seconds left to go in the second quarter. And a fourth down coming up. 12, almost 13 yards to go. Again, they need to get it to the Peddie 42. There's 14 seconds left to go in the second. Hill will wind it down and call a timeout a couple seconds if they want. Or they could just let things run out to halftime, and that is what the Rams will do. So, at the half, the score, Peddie 38 and Hill 7. You're watching today's contest on the Play by Play Sports Network.
Peddie Falcon, class of 2018, and I'll be playing football at the University of Pennsylvania.
I'm Terrell Prince, Peddie Falcon, class of 2018, and I've committed to play at the College of the Holy Cross.
Tyler Tedeschi, Peddie Falcon, class of 2018, William & Mary.
Jabbar Garrett, Peddie School, class of 2018, and I will be playing for the Virginia Cavaliers next year.
I'm Julian Leslie, Peddie Falcon, class of 2018, and I'll be playing football at Sacred Heart next year.
My name's Larry Ross. I'm Peddie Falcon, class of 2018, and I'll be going to Stony Brook University next year.
My name's Dan Dawkins, Peddie football class of 2018. I'll be attending Vanderbilt University next year.
I'm Alan Walters, quarterback, Peddie class of 2018, and I'm going to Vanderbilt next year.
I'm Thomas Wardle, Peddie Falcon class of 2018. I'm going to Wagner College.
I'm Tasama Haskins, Peddie Falcon class of 2018. I'll be playing for Lafayette College next year.
My name is Evan Lovell, Peddie Falcons class of 2018, and I'm committed to the University of Rhode Island.
My name is Chris Czerponecki, Peddie class 2018, and I'm attending James Madison University.
Alex Schmidt, Peddie Falcon class of 2018. I'm headed to Dartmouth College to play football.
My name is Jose Morales, Peddie Falcon class of 2018. I'm going to play football at Aquinas College.
Just the doors and opportunities that it's opened being here. There's no other place like Peddie in the world, in my opinion. Miss Rodrigue, first English teacher here, she was tough, but she helped me through a lot of things.
And a pick six for Terrell Prince.
Coach Roach, my advisor, basketball coach. Coach Maleo always texting me, seeing me in the hallways, "You're gonna come play football, right?" I was like, I don't know. And of course, like my mom, dad, brother and sister, family, they just supported me in everything. When I made the decision, they were like, "One less kid in the house? Like, we love that."
What we hope is, much like Peddie's mission is for this to be a transformational experience, we hope football is the same thing. It's always my goal, it's the goal of our staff, and I know the goal of our athletic department is to be able to transform kids' lives through athletics. We're able to do that with football. We're able to make them more accountable, more responsible. We're just able to see things and growth and maturity that they didn't necessarily have 3 years earlier.
If I hadn't gone here, I probably wouldn't be playing football anymore. I most likely would have tried to walk on somewhere, but I don't know if that would have worked. Getting the opportunity to be here and have the experience of all this, knowing what it's going to feel like, what it's going to be like, it's just unreal. And it's been an incredible journey.
Oh, what a play there by big number 52, Alexander Schmidt.
Everyone here is incredibly talented, and most of us are going to D1 schools, so playing against that kind of competition every day, every practice, really gets you ready for the next level. Both my parents sacrificing everything that they can to get me to where I am. Mr. Cabot admitting me into the school, Mr. Quinn, Mr. Augusto, just anybody here who has affected me, I just want to thank everyone.
The first reason for me to come to Peddie was just to get more options as far as school goes, because before I came here, it was just like a handful, if that. And when I came here, it changed immensely.
2nd and 1. And that's gonna do it as Jabbar Garrett ends the game.
First it would be Coach Maleo, because he was the first to believe in me back in my old school. My coach really didn't believe in me too much, didn't believe I had the talent to play D1, and Coach Maleo believed in me from the beginning, the moment he saw me. And Coach Parker for just keeping my head on straight and leading the way, and just making sure I do what I have to do.
The great part about it is having all these talented players. I can learn a lot from them, they can learn a lot from me. I'm one of the people who has the most experience here, so I'm like showing these guys the ropes and really trying to show them what the culture is about. It's hard work and best is the standard. Giving your all in everything you do, being the best at what you do every day.
Touchdown takes the lead. Adam Conyer with a huge play.
First off, I want to thank God for blessing me with this opportunity. Second off, I want to thank Mr. Cabot for admitting me into the school, and Mr. Quinn, the headmaster, for letting me have this chance at coming to this prestigious high school. And definitely my family, my coaches, Coach Maleo, Coach Parker, Coach Tedeschi, all the assistant coaches that helped me along the way. It's just been a blessing. I'm ready. I'm ready for the Ivy League.
I think that's the best feeling as a coach, to know that you've set kids up for long-term success. You know, I think there's a huge difference between what we see on that football field, that's short-term success, and then that long-term success is to know that they go on to college and they're having, you know, a great academic and athletic experience, that one day that they become great husbands, fathers, friends, whatever it might be, businessmen, CEOs of companies, whatever they decide to get into. I'm hoping that football is a catalyst for all that for the rest of their life.
Grinding every day, all day. Winter, spring, fall, it didn't matter. Summertime, it didn't matter. We were always together. And Coach Maleo and all the coaches, and really the school, always found a way to try to keep us together and keep us, I guess, tightly knit. Firstly, with my parents, because without them, I wouldn't even have had the opportunity to come to the school. Mr. Augusto for introducing Peddie to me. Coach Parker for always pushing me, most definitely. Every day in practice, it was he and I, always, always, always. His constant energy put into me just makes my time here worthwhile.
Mr. Onion, my advisor for 3 years, he's been there with me through thick and thin. Him and Mr. Augusto have been like the father I never had, to be that figure in my life, somebody I can go to, somebody to be hard on me and kind of push me. The admissions office, Mr. Cabot, of course, to believing in me. The rest of the admissions department, the athletics department, the trainers, Coach Volkmar, keeping us in shape. Tia Hart, my science teacher from last year, Miss Kochar, those teachers left an impact on me that I'll carry with me forever. Coach Harris, Coach Maleo, Coach Parker, all of them great coaches, and Mr. Truslow. Of course, headmaster, Mr. Quinn, he's been there for me at times, and my family and my mom to kind of help her through things for her being new to the boarding school process. So I gotta thank all of them for just being there for me and my family.
Oh, I feel way ahead of the game. The Peddie academics here, they're no joke. It's hard, but it'll get you prepared for college. I'm thankful for Coach Maleo and all the admissions, everyone allowing me to come in and repeat my junior year. I have to thank my parents, the Holy Cross community, the Thomaston community, everyone back home. Without them, I wouldn't be here. Offensive line, those are my brothers. We do everything together. We eat, sleep, everything, really.
It's probably the best offensive line in the nation, and I can say that by running behind it. Having Larry, Evan, Doc, Thomas, all those guys, Chris, just having those guys was insane. The holes were, as you can see, they're open. All I had to do was run through them.
A burst of speed up the middle for Chris Chekwanecki.
I want to thank Mr. Quinn, the headmaster here, for allowing me to spend my year here and give me the opportunity to see this wonderful place. Mr. McClellan for helping me. He's always been someone that I've talked to. He's someone that's been pushing me to just be a better student, be a better individual. I want to thank Ms. Dunn for admitting me into here and letting me live my one-year dream here. I want to thank my family, most importantly my mom. That woman's put in so much sacrifice.
I've learned a lot just from being here, from just the people here, my teammates, just the atmosphere. It's challenged me both on the field and off the field, even academically. It's just bettered me as a person in general as well. It challenges you in all aspects of life and all phases of life. So I'm just blessed to be in the position I am and have the opportunity I have at this school and have the opportunity I have the next 4 years at Vanderbilt. First and foremost, obviously my family, my mom, dad, and my sister. My journey wasn't too easy. I transferred schools and now I board here. They've made so many sacrifices for me and my future that I just am forever thankful for, and I couldn't have done it without them. And then all my coaches as well, even my coaches my first year of high school, all the coaches that I've trained with over the past years, everybody's just been a blessing in my life. And then obviously lastly just God. I mean, like, I'm a very religious person, so I mean, all the thanks goes to him as well, because none of this would be possible without him.
I'm thankful for this experience and for meeting these guys and being able to train, have them push me push them. Coach Malayo adding a little bit to it, like best is the standard, which is definitely vital. Cross every T and dot every I with that. Obviously, I'd like to thank Mr. Quinn, Mr. Cabot, of course, Coach Malayo, Coach Tedeschi, Coach Parker, guys like Mr. Augusto, Mr. Treese, Mr. Onion, Mr. Sham, Mr. Brown, Mr. Edwards, he's a new guy this year, Mr. Truslow, without a doubt, like my family, including my mother, my dad, my sisters, grandparents, and anybody who's believed in me and my friends.
We were short of numbers, definitely. But I feel like because of that, it brought us closer to each other. Yeah, the O-line, D-line especially, we definitely built this brotherhood throughout these couple of years together. So it was something that, never forget. I'll never forget these guys. First and foremost, I thank my parents. The amount of sacrifice they have done for me, like these past 3 years, unbelievable. And then Coach Malayo, obviously, he's one of the most inspiring guys to be around. He's a hard-headed guy, but like if you get to know him, he's really loving. He cares about all of us, and it hit us in the heart. And then the rest of the teammates, all the guys, I love them all. Definitely gonna miss it here. Yeah, but good memories.
The special thing about it is being so far away from home. I kind of get to venture off into my own world and make a name for myself out on the other side of the country. Something like crazy that's kind of crazy to me is coming out here playing high school football, but it's a college football field with all these 3-star, 4-star athletes, kids that are Power 5 commits, and kids that are upcoming Power 5 commits. The competition that we played with every day in practice was one in a lifetime. Like you don't get that at normal high school. First and foremost, I want to thank God for my experience. Without him, I wouldn't be here. I want to thank my mom, my guardian, and his family. I want to thank my best friend. I want to thank Coach Malayo, Coach Parker, Mr. Quinn, and Mrs. Dunn for getting me into the school.
Yeah, I want to thank my mom, especially. She put me through here. She's paying for it. My grandparents too, they're helping out. They helped out with football, get my cleats and stuff. Coach Malayo, Coach Parker, believing in my ability to play football and ability to go to the next level. Definitely Mr. Gilbert, he helped me with physics when I was struggling last year. He'd take time at study hall to help me. A math teacher, Coach D, would help me. I feel prepared academically through my teachers and through the harder workload we get here. It's definitely prepared me for the college and football training, off season, during the season. It's basically a college training. Same what they do, just a step down. It's not the full thing, but it's definitely a taste of what it is, and I feel like I'm ready.
So one of the really unique things about being part of this community is the support that you get from people, and I've learned so much from people that I've worked with and people that I've worked under. The admissions staff at Peddie, Ray Cabot and Molly Dunn have been amazing mentors to me. Peter Quinn has done a wonderful job as our head of our school, and who's really been a huge supporter of the football program and what that transformative experience can do. Catherine Rodriguez, our assistant head of school, a lot of the people within the dorms, our arts department. It's amazing like how many people support each other here, and it's authentic and it's genuine, and I'm so grateful for it.
Welcome you back to Maurice Schumann Field here in Hightstown, New Jersey. You see the score here at halftime. Peddie Falcons ahead of the Hill Rams by a 38-7 margin. Joe Vasile here with you on the Play-by-Play Sports Network as we'll get things going. In half number 2, Hill won the opening toss. They chose to receive. So Peddie will have it first here after halftime. Peddie has scored on every possession that it's had today. They've had 6 possessions, 6 touchdowns. They've missed 4 extra points. Have this 31-point lead right now. 3 touchdowns through the air for Voss Dennis. 1 to John Mechie, 1 to Marlon Johnson, 1 to Khalil Majid. 2 touchdowns on the ground for Patrick Smith as well today, and a rushing touchdown for John Mechie that went for 75 yards to round out the scoring for the Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Hill Rams, they got their touchdown on a 71-yard touchdown strike from Javon Clements to Josh Flowers. That is their only points of the game, and that's what's kind of kept Hill at least afloat for the time being. The 31-point deficit heading into the third quarter. Teams will head over to the sides and huddle things up. This is, of course, the opening weekend of Maple play. Both teams with their conference openers today. Peddie coming in with a 2-2 record in non-conference action this season. Hill went 0-4 in its action. Showed you kind of what happened with Peddie earlier on in the game today for the Hill School. Their losses, they lost to Wyoming Seminary, who Peddie won 51-7 over. That was a 20-12 loss for the Hill School. They also lost to Kasiki 33-26, Episcopal Academy 27-21, and last week to Springside Chestnut Hill 58-27. Coaches and officials out looking at a spot down right around the 11 or 12 yard line. In the right end zone, there's a hole in the ground. See, one of the coaches has his foot down in the hole about nearly all the way up to the knee. Certainly can't play with a hole in the ground. That's a safety hazard. So everyone just kind of figuring out what they're going to do here. I mean, if you've got a bunch of dirt, you just fill it in. Maybe set a booby trap and put some spikes in the bottom and lay some leaves over the top. I don't know. It's really endless options, but looks like the option of fill it up with some dirt is going to be what we do here. A garbage pail and a shovel. Just make its way out to the field. So we'll have a little bit of a delay before we get things going. In quarter number 3, with that delay, we'll take a quick step aside. When we come back, hopefully we'll have things just about set to get rolling here in quarter number 3. Again, Peddie 38, Hill 7 on the Play-by-Play Sports Network as they work to fix the sinkhole out around the 12-yard line. Welcome back to Schumann Field here in Hightstown, New Jersey. If you're wondering what is going on, in case you missed it, we're in a little bit of a delay here. There's kind of a hole that has opened up out on the field. You can see the officials taking a look, the shovel, garbage pail full of dirt. And the facilities staff here at the Peddie School doing a good job of trying to fix it as quickly as possible so we can get back to game action here. But yeah, we're in a little bit of a sinkhole delay, I guess is the best way to call it. So both teams just kind of over on the sidelines, trying to stay warm and get ready for the start of quarter number 3. So in case, maybe you took a quick break during halftime and you came back, you're wondering why we're not back to game action just yet. That is why, just trying to get some turf issues sorted out. There's a pretty sizable hole. One of the coaches before kind of was sticking his foot in it, and it went about, well, just kind of below the knee. Maybe not all the way up there, but at least 2/3 to 3/4 of the way up his shin was how deep he was able to stick his foot inside that hole. So obviously a safety issue there, and needing to get things fixed up. Looks like we're close to that being what happened. We got some dirt to fill it in. And we'll be able to get back to action here soon. We're going to take another step aside. We'll come back, and hopefully at that point we'll be back to football here on the field. It's, as you can see on the bottom of your screen, it's Peddie 38, Hills 7. So we get set to start the third quarter right after this on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Back at Schumann Field in Hightstown, New Jersey, the Peddie Falcons lead the Hill Rams by a score of 38-7 as we're finally getting ready to start the third quarter after a little bit of a delay with a field malfunction. There was a kind of a hole that had opened up around the 12-yard line down on the right side of the field, as you'll see it here on your screen. So we got that all filled up, tamped down, and kind of evened and smoothed out. Great job here by the facilities staff at the Peddie School to get this field safe and playable again so we can get back to action here this afternoon. Peddie will receive after Hill won the opening toss and chose to receive. So Peddie's got the ball here to start the third quarter. John Mechie, Patrick Smith are back to receive. Kickoff for the Falcons. This will be just the second time that Peddie's had the opportunity to return a kick today. Everything has been going right for the Falcons, both offensively and defensively, for basically the whole game as Josh Flowers sends it away. It's picked up by Patrick Smith around the 4-yard line. He takes it across the 20. Got some room to run. Patrick Smith to midfield. One block, and there goes Smith down the sideline, 96 yards. Touchdown, Patrick Smith. There's a flag down around the 42-yard line. This one's coming back for a block in the back. Don't think this one's going to stand. And there will be a block in the back against Peddie. It was right here along the near sideline. It's a little bit of a shove to the back, and so that was the final block that sprung Patrick Smith free. If Peddie got away with that one, it was a good block, but as if he didn't make that block, Smith doesn't end up taking that one to the house. But it will be the penalty that'll back him up. It'll set up first down and 10 for the Falcons from the 47-yard line. Start the first drive of the second half inside Hill territory. Let's see what Peddie Falcon's able to come out with. Quarterback Voss Dennis thrown for 3 touchdowns, replacing Maurice Belan, not able to play today. Marlon Johnson, his 6th receiving touchdown of the year. John Mechie has caught his 4th touchdown pass and also rushed for his 4th rushing touchdown. Khalil Majid has his 4th of the year as well through the airs. Dennis gives on a swing to Patrick Smith. Smith's got 2 touchdowns on the ground today. And he picks up a couple on the first play of the third quarter down to the 45-yard line. Gain of 2. Sets up second down and 8 for the Falcons, looking to get back over 500 on the season. They're 2-2 through their first 4 games, but they won their first 2, lost their last 2, including a heartbreaker last week against Malvern Prep, a talented team from down around Philadelphia. Rolling out, Dennis pulls up, fires it deep down the field, and the pass is complete. That's Marlon Johnson inside the 5. 41 yards. First down and goal coming up for Peddie from just inside the 5-yard line. Call it the 4. And the Falcons leading here by 31. If they go up by 35, remember that starts the running clock till Hill can get it back under 35. Yet Peddie has not been stopped once when they've had the ball. Bad snap, Dennis picks it up. He's under a lot of pressure, rolling to his right, gets around from one man to the backfield, slips another tackle as he takes off running, and he'll get in for a touchdown. Are you kidding me? Voss Dennis picked up the fumbled snap, broke 2 tackles in the backfield, and brought it in for a touchdown. Officially a 4-yard rushing touchdown for Voss Dennis, his 4th touchdown of the day, and it's a 44-7 lead for the Peddie Falcons. Patrick Smith on to attempt the extra point. It is low, and it hit his long snapper in the back of the legs. So 10:22 left to go in the third. It's a 44-7 lead for the Peddie Falcons. With 10:22 remaining, a touchdown drive of just 3 plays, 47 yards. And it took a whopping minute and 22 seconds off the clock as Peddie has expanded its lead up to 44-7. It's the good news. The bad news for the Falcons, and something that has been kind of a theme throughout this season, they've missed 5 extra points today, not able to convert. But they have scored 7 touchdowns, allowed just 1. So again, it hasn't necessarily been the biggest factor in this game per se, but you're looking later on in the season against some of the teams up at the top of the Maple, that could be a big factor. The Falcons can't kind of get that part rounded out. Patrick Smith will tee the ball up at the 40-yard line and get set to kick it deep. Josh Flowers, Reese Mazkua are deep to return for the Hill Rams. Also one of the up backs, you see Gernard Finney. We've seen him return a couple so far today for the Rams. So there's been some shorter kickoffs coming from Patrick Smith today. Freshman. A couple of touchdowns on the ground, couple extra points. A long, low kick that checks up and is fielded by Justin Ananchewo. Haven't said his name nearly enough from the Hill Rams standpoint, as Ananchewo takes it back to about the 24-yard line. So Hill sets up, the clock begins running. On their own 24-yard line, we'll have that running clock again unless Hill can get the deficit under 35 points. Currently trail by 38. Spread it out with 4 wide receivers on first down and 10. It's Javon Clements looking to pass under a lot of pressure. Runs free from the pocket, fires it downfield. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Sear Gruber. And he was pressured very heavily by Lennox Lamar, junior defensive end. Bring up second down and 10. Ball on the 24-yard line. Again with the clock moving. We're now down inside, 9 minutes remaining in the third. Full house backfield for Clements. Keep it on the ground. Mazkua rumbles forward close to the 30-yard line. Pick up close to about 5 yards. Pull it the Hill 29-yard line. So third down and along 5, say 6 at this point. Coming up for the Falcons, trying to come up with a big stop. The Rams trying to charge forward and pick up a first down. Clements looks to pass. Hit as he throws. Pass complete to the outside. And a first down pickup. Josh Flowers making the catch and forced out of bounds at the 40-yard line. So first down pickup for Hill. They've picked up a couple of those. It's not like the offense has been completely lifeless throughout the game. They've had flashes, just not consistent enough in the execution. Also, it doesn't hurt that this is a very, very good Peddie Falcons defense. Clemens with an empty backfield. 4 receivers to the far side. Looking to set up the screen and couldn't even get that bottled up as Clemens taken down for a loss. It was Voss Dennis on the sack. All set back at the 36-yard line of Hill. They need to get to midfield for a first down, 2nd and 14. Clock continues to run inside 7 minutes to go in the third. Tim Yount split out wide left to the bottom of your screen. Keep it on the ground. This is Finney. Gernard Finney picks up close to 10 yards on the rush. Say he was forced out of bounds on the far sideline at the 45-yard line, a gain of 9. So 3rd down and 5 coming up for the Rams, and a big play at this juncture in the game. They've already picked up 1 first down on this drive on a 3rd down, and now trying to do it again. Clements. They give it to Gernard Finney. This time he's hit after a gain of a couple of yards. Kept the legs churning, but not able to get past the 47-yard line. So Falcons flying in for the tackle to bottle him up. It'll be 4th down and shorts. Be about just under 3 from where the football sits, right across the 47-yard line. They need to get to midfield to convert on this first down. Clements with an empty backfield. Looks to pass under a ton of pressure and fires high as Lennox Lamar came flying untouched from across the left side, forcing that pass to come in early. Clements throws incomplete, and it's a turnover on downs. So Peddie will take over as clock running. Ball on the Hill, 47. Peddie taking its sweet time in getting out of the huddle. Announcing some scores in field hockey, both at the varsity and JV levels. The Hill School defeating the Peddie Falcons. Hill also won both varsity and JV in soccer, boys soccer. First down and 10. The backup quarterback, Aiden McHugh Wood, is in. Keeps it on the option. Ball comes out late at the end of the play. The beanbag flies out. This is fumble, and it's going to be a recovery for the Hill School. So McHugh Wood into the game. Very first play off the bench at quarterback. Keeps it on the option and fumbles and loses it. And Hill will take back over. From their own 46-yard line. Good job. That's the first takeaway of the game for either side on defense. Clements on the ground for Maurice Mascua. He goes nowhere. Loss of a yard on the play for Mascua. 2nd and 11 from the 45 coming up for the Hill Rams. And at the running clock, Peddie with a 38-point lead. This 3rd quarter flying by. Rams trying to get it under 35 and stop that and start to chip away in this game a little bit. Clements pump fakes under a lot of pressure. Fires for Mascua, incomplete. Threw that one into his own bench. Several Falcons closing in, including John Mechie, who you saw the defensive back coming on a safety blitz. Bring up 3rd down and long. Familiar situation for the Rams. Need to get the ball to the Peddie 44.5 or 43.5 yard line to convert on a 1st down. Sits just outside their own 45. Javon Clements with 4 receivers. Will look to pass. Under a lot of pressure again. Fires over the middle. This time it's complete for a 1st down. Gerard Finney down across the 35-yard line and taken down at the Peddie 32. 23-yard pass and catch. And a 1st down for the Hill School, as again, the offense has looked a lot better in the 3rd quarter than it did, especially in the 2nd, but even in the 1st quarter. Moving the ball, picked up a couple of 1st downs here in the 3rd. Clements, flush from the pocket, under pressure from Tile, looks to run, and will pick up a couple of yards. He ducks out of bounds, but that's not going to stop the clock with the running clock in effect. Pickup of about 2 on the scramble. Sets things up at the Peddie 31. Clements out of the shotgun. But on the ground, Mazkua spins off a tackle in the backfield, makes a cut up the field across the 30, and is dropped down. Looks like they'll give him the 29-yard line. That is where they'll spot him down. Peddie 29. That'll be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Final 12 minutes coming up here from Schumann Fields in Hightstown, New Jersey. It's Peddie 44, Hill 7 on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Start of the 4th quarter at Maurice P. Schumann Field here at the Peddie School. It's the Falcons 44 and the Hill Rams 7. Joe Vasile with you here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Hill Rams driving, but they face a 3rd down and 7 from the 30-yard line of the Peddie Falcons, looking to hang strong on defense. Just 1 score today for Hill. It came back toward the end of the 1st quarter. Javon Clements to pass. Near side, it's caught by Flowers. And it's going to be close to a 1st down. It depends on where they spot him out of bounds. It'll be the 21. That'll be enough to move the chains. Pickup of 8 when they needed 7. Second 1st down on this drive for Hill. And again, long 3rd down conversion for the Rams. Already had 3 here in the 2nd half. They're only picking up 2 in the 1st. Clements, flush from the pocket, looking to run. Will duck out of bounds around the original line of scrimmage at the 21. Hard to tell exactly where he stepped out with a lot of traffic in front of him. It's a 38-point lead for the Peddie School. The running clock in effect here most of the 3rd quarter. Near into the 4th, they say Clements was able to get up to about the 20. There's a flag down, a sideline warning against Peddie. They were outside of the box. If they do it again, well, they won't do it again. Second down and long for Hill. All on the 20. Clements, quarterback keeper, but that was sniffed out easily. In on the tackle for Peddie, Davis Sherwood. That was number 30. Also, Michael Tile was there. Tile's been all over the place. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 9. So Hill, I mean, it's 4-down territory for the rest of the game for them. I wouldn't really doubt that, especially not for this part of the field. So they've got a couple of chances here to pick up these 9 yards and try and keep the drive alive and get into the end zone. Just get a little bit closer. Clements looking to pass, fires it into the end zone, and it's intercepted. Intercepted in the end zone, and taking the knee for the Peddie Falcons, David Harris. The senior free safety, as the ball was thrown into double coverage. There is a flag down on the play, however, back at the 25-yard line. And we'll see if the interception holds, although Javon Clements is heading off the field along with the rest of the Hill offense. Early indications look like this is, penalty against Peddie. It'll be a personal foul against the Falcons. It was after, so back it up half the distance to the goal. So Peddie will take over 1st down and 10, or rather, 1st down and 10 from the 10 with 9:30 left to go. So Hill drives down, and the drive-ending interception. So after we hadn't had a takeaway for either side the entire game, the last 2 drives have ended in turnovers. McHugh Wood fumbled for Peddie their last drive, and now the interception thrown by Clements and grabbed by David Harris. McHugh Wood this time will keep it on the ground. Safe inside handoff, picks up a couple of yards for the Falcons. Looked like getting the tote was David Egby.
David Egby on the carry for the Falcons up the middle. Pick up of about 4 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 6 for the Falcons from their own.
Down at 6. Coming up for the Falcons after that 4-yard carry by Egby. 4 receivers in the sets. Moving in motion is a number 60 for Peddie. They don't have a number 60 listed on their roster. Don't know who that is. The middle, it's Egby to the 40. And he got tripped up by the turf monster and goes down at the 45. Big run for David Egby, picking up 31 yards and a 1st down. David Egby, we've seen him on the defensive side a little bit today and coming up big, now given a shot in at running back as the Falcons have the second team out there. The quarterback Aiden McHugh Wood. The day appears to be over for Voss Dennis, at least as far as being the quarterback goes. David Egby in at tailback. 3 receivers to the right. Keep it on the ground with Egby. Another big hole across main field, close to a 1st down. David Egby taking the ball into Hill territory, a 9-yard rush to bring up 2nd and 1.
Now inside Hill territory at the Ram 47-yard line.
The 47-yard line for the Falcons as we tick down closer to 7 minutes remaining. Aiden McHugh Wood, the new quarterback, a sophomore, listed at 6'1", 180 pounds. Getting some game reps here wearing number 20. Moves Egby out of the backfield. They swing it to him. Out in the flat. Egby's got the first down across the 45 and dragged down at the 43-yard line. Pickup of 4 through the air and another first down for the Peddie Falcons. Moving the ball efficiently, this drive began all the way back at the Peddie 10-yard line. And 4 plays later, they're at the Hill 43. Thanks largely to a 30-yard rush by David Egby. Peddie breaks the huddle. On the ground for Khalil Majid. Cuts it back to the near side and a lot of green in front of him. He's met at the 10. Bowls his defender over and runs out of bounds. Khalil Majid, a huge power rush as he brought Timmy out down to the ground before going out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. First and goal for Peddie coming up from the Hill 8s. And a huge run. Khalil Majid, who's already got 1 touchdown today through the air, nearly came through with another. Now Majid back over to the sideline, replaced by David Egby. Benai and David Harris in the slot if they go to the air. Instead, they keep it on the ground with Egby across the 5, and he's in for a touchdown. David Egby. What powerful running out of this kid. Just seemed like he was bowling over defenders every time he touched the ball. Got it into the end zone, and Peddie halfway to a century, up 50-7. They'll bring the block out and get set to try and kick this extra point with 4:58 remaining. This will be Nate Hale lined up for the extra point. He's the one wearing number 35. Second time he's tried today, and he hits the crossbar. So Nate Hale now 0 for 2 in extra points. But a rushing touchdown for David Egby makes the score 50-7. Peddie on top of Hill with 4:58 remaining. Again, the clock will continue to run. Peddie has scored a touchdown on every single drive today except for one. That was when they turned it over on an Aiden McHugh Wood fumble on their last drive before this touchdown drive. That went 90 yards in 4.5 minutes. And that's with a running clock. That's mightily impressive. A lot of good work on the ground on that drive from David Egby, who was able to finish it off with a touchdown for the Falcons, his first of the day. So Patrick Smith rushed for a couple of touchdowns today. Has the ball teed up to the left hash and the 40-yard line to kick this one deep. Smith takes a run up. Squib kick up the middle. Finds its way to Gennard Finney. Finney bounces it. Trying to find some more room, but bottled up nicely and eventually dragged down right outside the 20-yard line. Looked like the man in on the stop for Peddie was Davis Sherwood. So he'll have first down and 10 from the 21-yard line. Clock running down closer to 4 minutes remaining in the contest. Looks like some new personnel starting to cycle in here for Hill. It'll be Michael Stevens. Just one new player out there for the Rams that we could see. Stevens is 5'2", 140, and he's lined up at left guard. Keep it on the ground, and going backwards a couple of yards as Jacob Kretzing is in at quarterback. There's no gain on the play. Keeps it at the 21-yard line. Second down. Actually, they'll say a loss of a yard on the play. Second down and 11 from the 20. So all kinds of new numbers, new players out there for Hill. Same could be said for Peddie, as see Chris Mayo has checked into the game, all 6'6" and 305 pounds of him on the defensive line for the Falcons. Quarterback Kretzing, senior captain. Keep it on the grounds. Cutting up the fields. Nice spin move from Mamadou Ba. He loses the ball at the end of the rush. That would have been a first down. And Peddie's got it. Ba fumbles. Peddie recovers. And the player falling on top of it was Tyler Wasilewski. Wasilewski recovers the fumble. 2:15 left to go. All Peddie has to do now is, inside 2 minutes remaining, is just kind of run out the remainder of this clock, and the Falcons will break a 2-game losing streak and improve to 3-2 on the season. Meanwhile, for Hill, another tough loss today. They'll fall to 0-5 with this defeat as Peddie into the victory formation. They'll let Voss Dennis back into the game at quarterback to finish off with a genuflex at the end of this game. Step back and the knee. Just over a minute remaining. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. See, next week on the road, taking on Lawrenceville for the Peddie Falcons before returning home against Mercersburg and Hun on the 27th. There it is, Blair Peddie Day. This year it's going to be up in Blairstown, November 3rd. Have that one circled on your calendar. I'm sure you probably already do. Another knee from Dennis. And that'll do it. Clock will run out. The teams will line up to shake hands along the 50-yard line. And the Peddie Falcons are victorious today, 50-7. Over the Hill Rams. With the victory, the Falcons improved to 3-2 on the season. And more importantly than that, 1-0 in Maple play. The Hill Rams fall to 0-5 and 0-1 in the Maple. As again, we told you, next week on the road at the Lawrenceville Big Red for the Peddie Falcons. That should be a good contest. Make sure keep an eye out for that one and the rest of the schedule here for the Falcons this season. Voss Dennis throws for 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground for Patrick Smith, and a dominant day for the defense of the Peddie Falcons, allowing just 7 points to the Hill Rams. And so, for the entire Play-by-Play Sports Network crew and everyone here at the Peddie School, my name is Joe Vasile saying thank you for joining us, spending part of your Friday evening with us. The final score from Maurice P. Schumann Field in Hightstown, New Jersey, is the Peddie School 50, the Hill School 7. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. We'll talk to you next time on the Play-by-Play Sports Network.